Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Platinum Point, and today we're going to be looking at how Bunny Girl Senpai shakes up the meta game of Weiss Schwarz. We're going to be going over my card choices and looking at my rationale behind the deck. So I hope you guys like this video, and stay tuned, guys. So before we begin, I just want to say please make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and like this video if you want to see more Weiss Schwarz deck profiles. It really helps me to know if you guys like these kind of videos, and it also kind of helps me see what other content you guys are looking forward to having me post. So thanks again for watching my previous video, for checking it out on the world's the Weiss Schwarz Worlds Finals recap, where I went over the data. So I mentioned about how Bunny Girl Senpai was kind of like the boogeyman of the deck, and I still think it's a really strong deck, but I do think there are ways to mess with the deck. But before we can even talk about how to deal with the deck, I wanted to showcase my version of the deck, as it can help kind of understand my thought process behind the deck and how to deal with it. So starting off with we're going to start off with the level zeros. We're playing 4 copies of the Accumulating Memories Mai Sakurajima. So this is the new Riki of the deck. Originally we had a draw Riki from set 2, but after looking at the various various years, I think couple like 3-4 years, we finally get a actually usable searchable level 1 or lower searcher Riki. And the best part about it is it has the second ability: if we have 1 or less cards in memory at the end of this card's attack, or when this card gets reversed, you can shove it into memory. So you can selectively, either if you think you need to defend yourself for the next turn, you can leave the Mai there, and then when it gets reversed, shove it into memory. Or if you just want to prevent your opponent from like doing bottom deck bombs, stock bombs, you can just shove it straight into memory right after the attack of this card. So this helps you immediately not only search for pieces, but it's your main main compression target early game. So usually your goal is to shove 2 of these into memory, so that way the other 2 can just be used for its effect or to be leveled up. But personally, I like this card. It's just really strong as a utility card, and it's the first thing you want to kind of shove into memory early game. If you don't, you kind of lose a lot of deck speed and momentum, so you do want to shove her into memory very quickly. Next, we play 4 copies of this vanilla Futaba. This is your 3K beat stick, and it pairs with the stock Uta level 1 in order to basically help compress, because you're shoving this from waiting room into stock. So we play 4 of that. Next, we play 4 copies of the Carte Brainstorm. The reason why we're playing 4 over the traditional 3 of is because this card is the effect to top 2 check after triggering climax is very important, and you need to see this quickly early game, because it is not only your main source of deck speed, but it's also just the effect is that good, being able to top 2 check upon triggering a climax. And I think it's, let me just double check, it's a, oh no, you get to put you get to look at the top card of your deck and then put it either at the top or into waiting room, and then give a character plus 1k. So when you have 2 copies in the back line, that's where you get the top 2 check. So that's why you want it in the back line, because you want to have 2 copies in it to do the top 2 check. So you check 1, leave it or put it into waiting room, or check the second time, leave it or put it into waiting room. So this is your main, like one of your main scout, like not scrying, but like scouts. I guess it is scrying, yeah. Your main scry engine early game, and late game it's like your universal scry engine. So you want this as soon as you can. So that's why I play it as a 4 of. Sorry, I had to review the effects. Sometimes you forget after playing so many games. Next, we play the Futaba. This Futaba is actually both a Fukashigi, and if I remember correctly, it's this Yeah, it's a climax swap with the deck. So you get to pay one, search your deck for a climax, add it to your hand, choose another climax, and send it to the deck. So this allows you to search for the proper door that you need. So this is not only a climax swapper, but it's also a Fukashigi where on death, discard one top 4 check, add a level 1 or higher card. So this is another form of deck speed that you play. And I know we can play the Shoko, we have access to the Shoko helmet, but this deck needs not only hand fix, but deck speed. Like, you contrary to popular belief, this deck does, even with the level 1 Mai and the amount of twin driving it does, and brainstorming, you do need some form of deck speed that doesn't require you paying cost, and the Futaba allows you to dig deep for 4 cards. So that's one of the reasons why I play the Futaba Riki, not only for the climax swap, but just the mill 4, and to search for any of your combo pieces that are level 1 or higher. And then continuing on with the deck speed, we're playing 2 copies of the Graduate Mai. So what she does is, I'm trying to remember the first effect because I rarely proc it, but there are situations you can. So when you trigger the door climax on attack, you can give 2 characters plus 1k, which is really nice. And then when you're at level 2, you use the second effect, which is you may pay 1, send the standing card into memory, top 2 check, and then choose 1 to add to your hand, and then send the other to waiting room. So this allows you to get free. You're using this basically to try dig for the door climax, or for whatever combo piece you need, because in order to finish your opponent off, you need to have 4 different cards in memory, 4 cards with different names in memory, in order to effectively use the Mai finisher. So this is one of the other memory targets. So that's your second card with a different name. I play 1 copy of the drop salvage Mai. This is your third card that you can put into memory. This deck is so tight in space that I find myself playing only 1 copy of this. But should the situation change where in my testing where I don't need enough deck speed and instead need more hand filtering and just selectivity, I'll bump this up to 2, but at the moment I can only fit in 1. And it's basically the third card you try to shove into memory. And then next I play 1 copy of the 00 Mai promo from set 1. So what she does is you clock a character from your hand, top 3 check, add 1, send the rest to the waiting room. So this allows you to add any generic card. You don't have to show it to your opponent. And I play it as a 1 of. And then now moving on to the level 1s, I play 4 copies of the new level 1 climax combo. So what she does is on placement of door, when this door is played, let me pull it up. She has the ability on attack, check the top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 from among them. Let me just double check. Yeah, choose 1 card from among them. It's a look at the top 3, choose 1 from among them, and add it to your hand, send the rest to waiting room. You don't have to show it to your opponent because it doesn't specify searching for a specific trait. You can search for any card. And then if you have this Mai in memory, she gains the ability on attack, twin drive. So you get to free twin drive, and the last card that you check off the drive trigger, after the drive check, the last card that you trigger, you have to send it to waiting room. So this essentially allows you, especially if you trigger a door at the second trigger, a free twin drive and salvage, especially, and then you don't have to worry about paying off that door if that's the last trigger, because it just automatically gets sent to the waiting room after being triggered. So it's a unique twin drive, and honestly I actually find it very interesting as a level 1 combo. And overall I do like this combo, but I do see the twin drive being sometimes of a hit or miss sometimes, but it's been helpful so far. And I still think even without the twin drive, this is a good level 1 combo that we needed for the deck, because it gives you a lot of selectivity and you don't have to worry about like whiffing on the climax combo. And then next we play 4 copies of the Stakuta, which shoves the futabas that are in the waiting room into stock. So this allows you to essentially just build stock efficiently and help you get towards your end game, which is having at least 7 stock to play triple Mai and launch the Mai finisher. So we need that for stock generation. Our last level ones are is this level 1 Mai that has the ability, if you have, I think, what is it? If I have no red cards in memory, I can on play I can shove this specific Mai into memory, and it gains plus 3k, which is really nice. And then the second effect is just on attack, pay 1 twin drive. So this allows you to clean out your stock as well as gain free compression. So we play 1 of that, and then we play 1 copy of the level 1 Mai Bomb from this current premium this current movie set, which has the ability not only to reverse a level 1 or lower card, but also on reverse pay 1, discard 1, and put this into memory and search. I'm trying to double check if there's any. Yep, there's no memory condition. It just is pay 1, discard 1, shove it into memory. So there's no memory restriction. So this is usually the 4th card you want to get into memory. The 3rd. Actually, yeah, this is like the 4th card that you want to get into memory if you can. But there are other cards that you can substitute for that 4th memory slot. And that pops into the level 2. So first thing that we play for the level 2 is the 2-1 Mai Assist, which has the ability, which has actually 2 abilities. So when this comes into play, if you have 4 or more other characters, you get to choose a character from waiting room and put it back into stock. So this refunds itself after upon playing it, so provided that you have a full board. And it's an X 500 times level of the characters in front, a booster, so it gives 1500 for level 3s, 1000 for level 2s, and 500 for level 1s. And then it has a 3rd ability. If you have 2 or more cards with different names in memory, whenever you trigger check a door, just want to double check, you get to look at the top card of your opponent's deck. You can either leave it at top or put it at the bottom, and then give a character an additional 15k. Sorry, I just had to double check. It's been a hot minute since I've been playtesting my the Bunny Girl Senpai, and this is actually on my playtest cycle, so I am relearning how to play this deck. It's been quite some time since I've experienced the compression nature of Bunny Girl, and it's one of my favorite sets, honestly. So it's going to be really enjoyable to relearn how to play this deck again. In my testing though, so far, it's I've been wanting to play 2 of this, especially 2 copies of the level 1 drop search Mai. So like I said, once I continue testing with this deck, I will do an update to show whether I've decided to pump this up to 2, the level 1 Mai up to 2, and that level 0 Mai up to 2. There are so many other cards that I'm just interested in, like adjusting the ratios, but that requires further testing to see if the current list like does what it's supposed to do, which is facilitate me getting through my deck and setting up the 3-2 Mai for the finish. Continue on with that logic, we play 2 copies of this 2-1 Mai. So what she does is, if I have 2 or more different cards in memory, when this attacks, it gains X X power, and that's basically, what is it? It's equal to Okay, number of your opponent's character times 1500, so it gains X plus power. So 1500 times the total number of characters on your opponent's stage. So it will gain, if it's a full board, it's going to be a plus, I think 75. So it'll be a 12-5 on attack. And it has a second ability. You can just shove this standing character into memory and salvage either the level 3 Mai or the level 1 Mai. What I mean by level 1 Mai, this one. You can either salvage this Mai or this Mai. So it's really nice because it gives you selectivity and it helps you set up. So this is another like memory compression level. This is another memory compression card in general. The last one that we usually play for this deck, and it actually came in the movie set too, this the Rascal movie set, which is 4 copies of the many memories. So what this does is you get to pay 1, choose 2 characters with the name Mai from your waiting room and add it to your hand, then choose a card from your hand to discard. So this is a salvage 2, discard 1. You have to shove this into memory, which is the first effect actually. And then after that, if you have 6 doors or 6 comebacks, these in waiting room, you get to pay an additional 1 and free fresh. So this allows you to not only salvage your key pieces and memory compress, but you can use this to reset your deck. So it's essentially a pay 2/2, salvage 1, discard 1, shove itself into memory and free fresh. So it's actually a really good memory event that you want to just shove into memory when you're in bad deck states, or if you want to loop your combos. So it does both. It allows you to not only loop your combos, but also, hey, I'm in a bad deck state. I have 6 climaxes in the waiting room. I have the other door in hand, the level 1 door. Time to free fresh. So this helps you like reset your deck and compress it as well by shoving itself into memory, which is really nice. And then moving on now to the level 3s, as you kind of saw from the glimpse, I play 1 copy of the Notica from set 1. I mainly play her for the first effect, which is on play, draw, discard 1, bounce a character. So this is here for the Shana matchup, because you want to be able to bounce the Yuji, and if they only have 1 Yuji, you just target down that Yuji, and then you can just slam the Mai combo. And you, even if you can't triple Mai, double Mai is also just as efficient. You just got to make sure when to slam this Notica if you're gonna try beat the Shana matchup. And this is also good against Nikkei, because if they have the Modernia on board, the 3/2 Modernia, and they only have 1 copy, you can just bounce that Modernia and prevent them from rest countering you, so they're forced to do the +6 soul or effect instead. So being able to just deny like rest counters is also pretty helpful. Next I play 2 copies of the early play Carte, just for the early play heal and then stock charge. And then lastly, 4 copies of the level 3 Mai, which pairs, let me just line that up, with this door. So this Mai is actually it has a wall of text, so I'm gonna explain it. So not only does it have the on play heal, but when this climax is placed, when this attacks and you have this climax on stage, you may pay cost, which is a pay 1, discard an adolescent character. You get to apply the effect, put the bottom 2 cards of your opponent's deck into their waiting room. If there's a climax among those cards, deal 2 damage. And you do it X times. So there's a caveat with the X times. So if the number of cards with different name in memory is 3 or less, you do it twice. Mill the bottom two of your opponent's deck, and then burn two for whenever there's a climax among the mill two. So you burn two for each cycle, burn two of mill two where there's a climax revealed, and you do it only twice. If you have 4 or more, it's 3 times. So your goal is to try not get you don't want the 3 or less, because you're only milling 4, you're icy tailing for 4, which is, I guess, fine. But when you hit the 4 memory, you get to do it 3 times, so it's an icy tail for 6, but it's separate occasions. So you're milling 2, checking the first 2. If there's a climax, burn 2. On the second check, if it's another climax, burn 2 again. Third check, climax revealed, burn 2 again. So it's separate instances of mill 2, potential burn 2, mill 2, potential burn 2, and mill 2, potential burn 2. So this is a even better icy tail. This reminds me of the Aki one from Chainsaw Man, except this is separate instances, so you get to divide up the damage. Instead of a potential burn 6 or a potential burn 8, potential burn 6, it's burn 2 3 times, which is much better, because if they cancel the first one, the second, there's a chance that the second and or third one will stick and make it easier for you to kill your opponent. So that's one of the reasons why she's such a brutal finisher, because it's all separate instances of burn 2, which has a higher chance of sticking than multiple instances of burn 3, multiple instances of burn 4. It's all like, it's basically in a sense death by 1,000 cuts. So it's a really good finisher, and it's one of the reasons why she's one of the reasons why the deck put this finisher to 2 in Japan, because she's so good at like just closing the game. Even at 2, like I've seen lists where she's just wrecking people in the face. So she is one of my favorite, like Mai Sakurajima is one of my favorite characters in general. So I'm happy that now she's got meta relevance, and I'm happy that Bunny Girl Senpai in general gets meta relevance. So I am going to be tweaking, messing around with this deck. I am going to be doing an update of this deck profile, as well as my Freerun deck, because it's one deck that I've just been, that and Freerun are the 2 that I've been just trying to grind and figure out, because not only are they new like play styles, but also it's just they're my 2 favorite decks at the moment. I am still working on the other cards in my playtest rotation, but since the other 3 are decks that I'm very comfortable with, so all I gotta do is just make sure that I'm fine-tuning my play style with them. It's mainly right now I'm just focusing on learning how to play both Freerun and Bunny Girl Senpai. So that's one of the reasons why and it's one of the main reasons why I have playtest rotations, is because it allows me to kind of really focus in on those decks and try to learn and master them. So I hope you guys liked this video. I know it took quite a long time, but I just want to explain the effects carefully, so that way that both I can better represent this deck in an accurate way. So I hope you guys like this video. So don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and false crack that like button. I will be sorry for the delays on these videos. I've just been busy with work, so I didn't get a chance to just sit down and really hammer and record more content like this. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe again, and false crack that like button. And don't forget to stay on point, guys. Peace out.